What's going on, people? It's your boy, the Boxing Lowdown, here for episode number 101 of the Boxing Lowdown podcast, man. And first of all, let me just say, not joined by Laurie today, just me on my own today. Laurie is actually, where's he gone? He's gone to a press conference. Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall. He's at that press conference today. Laurie is going to be there. I think he's there with the AFTV lot. I think they've got some stuff they're doing over there. I couldn't make it there, unfortunately. Had work commitments, of course, so I wasn't able to do that. But we're still here. We still got a show to do. And we're going to go live today, talk about a huge weekend coming up in boxing. A lot of big news, especially since our last live. You know, there's been even more developments from the whole Conor Benn saga. We're going to jump into that. But for the meantime, man, let me just say shout out to everybody that will join the stream. Don't forget, as you join, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop your comments in as always, and I'll happily respond to them. But in the meantime, we'll get cooking. Shout out to everybody in advance for joining, man. And don't forget to flash your comments up, and I'll read them if I can. And if you join late, big up to you guys as well, man. Just drop your comments in the stream after, and I'll come across them at some point. So let's get straight into it, man. First of all, we need to talk about this Conor Benn situation, man. More developments since our last live stream a couple of days ago, where myself and Laurie, we broke the news that, we didn't break the news, we just touched on it, that the fight was off between Benn and Eubank. However, since that day, there's been more developments. I found out last night, as all of you guys did as well, that Conor Benn has been busted again for a second time for the same substance. And this occurred earlier on in the year. So it wasn't during this round of testing where he tested positive. I mean, this happened before. So it might have been before a previous fight that he had, or I'm not sure. But yeah, at the same time, man, it's just it's a terrible situation. Terrible situation. We got Ian Hamilton here in the building. He says, evening, let's get going. Big up, my bro. We got Francisco here. He says, do your thing. Harvey is in the building as well. He says, good evening. So big up to all of you guys, man. We're going to get cooking today. But yeah, like I said, Conor Benn, as you guys are aware, has popped dirty again for the same banned substance. Listen, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on, or whatever order it is. But yeah, this is not looking good for Conor Benn, man. And I saw that he left a comment on his Instagram post saying that I hope the apology is as loud as the disrespect. So basically what he's saying that he still doesn't feel like he's done everything wrong. He thinks that the truth in his eyes will come to light. He says that he's a clean athlete. He says he's an innocent guy. But at the moment, man, it's not looking very good. It's not looking very good for Conor Benn, man. And the UCAD and the British Boxing Board of Control are looking into this. So with them looking into it now, that brings the possibility of a ban coming for Conor Benn, because we know that Eddie Hearn tried to, go down the loophole route by saying that the British Boxing Board of Control don't recognise VADA testing, or that is an optional testing. That's basically what he's saying. So they can't add that in as a, to punish Conor Benn. But listen, this is not looking good at all. Eddie Hearn's reputation is currently in the dirt right now. I don't remember his reputation being as low as it is right now. I mean, he's really hasn't come across very good in all of this. I did see that pathetic interview on IFL where, it was literally just a PR stunt, literally just Eddie Hearn just talking waffle and Coogan allowing him to do it. But at the end of the day, I guess that's what he's going to do. But we didn't really learn anything from that interview anyway. But your thoughts on it, guys, man? This whole Conor Benn situation, what happens now? All we've seen is that, he's tested positive again for the same banned substance. He's come out and since pleaded his innocence, said that I hope the apology is as loud as the disrespect. So I'm sure they're working tirelessly behind the scenes to try and get that sorted out. But yeah, it's not looking good, man. For me, it's not looking good at all. No B sample. I'm not expecting to see that. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I'll get to some of your comments. Ian says here, I'll say what I said to you earlier today. My gut instinct says that Team Benn will try to rat out the others to take the heat off them unless they just own up. At this point, I think he's getting to the stage where he's not going to do it because we've already seen his intentions, but it's getting to the stage where how much more evidence do you need? Do you know what I mean? Like 2 failed tests, it's not looking good. Like Harvey's saying here, I can't wait to see what story they come up with. They've had enough time, so it better be good. Mohammed says here, Daryl, what does the drug he took do? Like, what advantage does he give? Daniel, big up my bro. He answers it here. He says it basically masks a cycle and boosts testosterone levels. Yeah, you couldn't have said it any better than I would have. That's all I know. I'm not like, heavily clued up on the whole PED thing. But at the end of the day, I do know that Conor Benn took a banned substance that was on the prohibited list. He's tested positive for it twice now on 2 separate occasions. There was also the situation, if we're going to go back to January of this year, where Conor Benn wasn't enrolled onto the WBC clean boxing program, where you're subject to year-round testing from VADA. He wasn't enrolled onto that originally until it became public knowledge, and then he decided to join. He said that it was an admin issue as to why he was not signed up to that clean boxing program. So not looking very good, man. And then obviously we saw the videos about the doctor that came out. I think he's a prescribed doctor for Conor Benn and a few other fighters like Tyson Fury, Nathan Gorman. You guys have seen it. You've seen the video that came out. Him basically saying, in no less for a better word, he basically said that if in this day and age, if you get caught for PEDs, then basically you're stupid. He said like there's easy ways around it, and it really set alarm bells going in the boxing community. That interview that doctor did. I think they're trying to track him down, but didn't he delete his social media? I think that was the last I heard of it. But not looking good at all, man. Going to be interesting to see where this ends up. But the British Boxing Board of Control are carrying out an investigation into this, and there's more to come. This story's not over yet. Harvey saying here the doctor situation really don't look good. It really doesn't, bro. It really doesn't. But for me, if you want to get my opinion on this whole thing now, I just think that at the end of the day, they're going to have to carry out the investigations, the British Boxing Board of Control. But I'm expecting Conor Benn to get a ban here. I'm expecting something along those lines to happen. How long for? We don't know. We've seen like rumors that it could be up to 4 years. I don't think it'll be that long. Jarrell Miller wasn't even banned for 4 years. And look at all the positive substances that he had in his body. But I can see a ban possibly coming Conor Benn's way should he get found guilty of this, unless there is like a real, unbelievable explanation for him to come out of this. Then yeah, it's not looking good, mate. You know what I mean? It's not looking good at all for Conor Benn, and that's the right thing to do from the British Boxing Board of Control. Like I'm sure more details of this will come out, but to me, it's not looking good. The doctor situation is really bad, and if you want my personal opinion, I think that like you're not going to fool me twice on this thing. It's an extreme coincidence for you to get busted for the same drug twice. Do you know what I mean? Nah, not flying with me. As my boy Atif is saying here, he says, Conor, you messed up. He messed up big time. Messed up big time. He fumbled the bag. You're going to get a career high payday in a fight that I wasn't really too bothered about anyway. But I was aware of the significance, of the name and everything else, of what it would bring, the amount of casual interest that there was in that fight. But at the end of the day, man, it's not a good sign. I got my man K22 in the building here. I got Big Lou in the building as well. Big up, Big Lou. Good to see you brothers here, man. As you guys, if you weren't already aware, I'm on my own today. We're going to drive it on our ones. Laurie is currently, I think he's at the Clarissa Shields Savannah Marshall press conference. So I'm sure we'll get some updates from him with that. But yeah, this whole Conor Benn thing, man, just to touch on it, it's just a dire situation, man. There are plenty of videos that I've done on this, myself and Laurie, speaking on this beforehand. So make sure you check them out if you haven't already. We gave our opinion on the fight being off, and obviously, him testing positive the first time. But this is another positive test for Conor Benn. And where does he go from here? I'll let you guys know this. I can't say the name of the boxer, but I spoke to one of Conor Benn's opponents today. I really want to say his name, but I'm not gonna. I DM'd one of Conor Benn's opponents. He follows me on my Instagram page. I'll just say that. He follows my Boxing Lowdown Instagram page, a previous opponent of Conor Benn. And I asked him, I DM'd him and I said to him, like, what do you think about this whole situation? And he was basically saying, look, man, it's as clear as day. Like, and I said to him, I won't say your name or anything like that. But he literally said to me, like, from someone being within that industry, a fighter himself, he just basically, he made his intentions clear as to whether he thought Conor Benn did it or not. But I won't I won't divulge in the name. I'll just let you guys think who it might be. Think about his previous opponents and so on, and who you think it might be. And I'll let you go from there. But yeah, interesting comments from him today. And I've also seen comments from previous opponents, such as who was it? Who was the guy? He came out with quite a few comments about Conor Benn over the last. It was Van Heerden. Yeah, Chris Van Heerden. Basically saying that he wanted that ruled as a no contest, his fight with Conor Benn. Chris Algieri has spoken on this as well. I saw him on a podcast speaking about this whole Conor Benn thing. It's not looking good, mate. And where does this leave Eddie Hearn? Because the whole situation with Eddie Hearn right now is Conor Benn is basically your meal ticket outside of the heavyweight division. I think about his roster and his stable of fighters right now. I believe he's still got a Coley in his stable. He's obviously got Buatsi. But Conor Benn is up there in terms of one of your meal tickets outside of the heavyweight division. Eddie Hearn's not looking good in this at all. His image took a real big hit over the last week or so with them trying to keep this fight on. And of course, it wasn't just Eddie Hearn. It was also, Wasserman Boxing. It was also the fighters themselves. So it wasn't just Eddie that wanted to keep the show on. The reason why Eddie Hearn is looking so bad right now is because of all the videos, and I'm sure you guys have all seen them, all the videos that are coming out, that are surfacing on Twitter of Eddie Hearn literally contradicting himself and, playing the right side of the road when it came to other fighters from other stables. Speaking about, if they get busted twice, they should be banned for life. If they do this, they do that. Why would you carry out VADA testing if you're not going to recognize the results? Fast forward now to this month now, the last week. Eddie Hearn has been guilty of this himself. He's been trying to get the fight on. He's tried to disacknowledge the whole relevance of VADA testing in this fight by saying that UCAD is the recognized body for Benn and Eubank. It's just a mess, and it's not looking good for Eddie Hearn right now either, man. Obviously, he's out there in Australia right now. He's got a card to promote, but I think that his reputation has took a big hit. And I just think in general, man, over the last year or two, this whole DAZN project has not been working. Do you know what I mean? So Eddie Hearn is, I wouldn't say he's at a crossroads. I mean, he has still delivered some great shows, but, the whole DAZN project for me, as I've said on numerous times here before, is not necessarily working. Now he's got this to worry about. It's not looking good. Big up to all you guys here. Don't forget to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I got my man Punch Smollett in the building today. Big up Punch Smollett. I got my bro in here as well. Ash, he says here, he's put shame on the family. Also, Eddie should hold his head in shame. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree, man. So I think everybody is all aligned on that. Conor Benn popping dirty again. I guess we have to wait and see what happens next with this whole situation. But right now, it's not looking good. And it's a shame. Do you know what? It's an actual shame that this is happening right now, because we've got a lot of fights to look forward to this weekend, man. We've got a big card over here in the UK, headlined by Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall. We got Devin Haney against George Kambosos taking place this weekend as well. We got the return of Deontay Wilder, all happening this weekend. And what is the biggest story right now? Conor Benn. Do you know what I mean? It's not good. And it's a shame, really, because particularly for the women's fight, particularly for that card, there was a huge buzz around that show a few weeks back when it was scheduled. Obviously, none of us foresaw what happened with the Queen passing, but it was a huge show. Everybody was looking forward to it. I just feel like this whole situation now with Conor Benn has overshadowed that a little bit. And the fact that there are other big fights on this weekend as well is really kind of dwarfed that card. And it's a big shame, because this is a great night for women's boxing. And, we're talking about this. Going to the comments here, Atifa said, do you think Eubank's health was at serious risk? And Daniel White said, I remember someone saying 90% of the sport were at it. Yeah, I remember that too. Atif, to go back to your question, I saw Eubank Senior on The Fight Is Right. Go and check that out if you haven't already. That's hosted by Tunde Ajayi and Spencer Fearon. Very good live show. Chris Eubank Senior called in on that show, and he explained his feelings on there. And he really did believe that Eubank Jr.'s health was at serious risk. You heard him. He was saying he wanted the fight to be cancelled. He said that everyone should boycott the fight. And he was really emotional on that. The Fight Is Right. Go and check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, he was really emotional on that, man, Eubank Senior. I felt a bit sorry for him listening to that, man. And it appears that he may have a few differences with his son over that. It seems like that they're not on the best terms right now. Hopefully they do. I don't know. I don't have any inside info on that, by the way. But it appears that yeah, they might have been on bad terms after that, and he's really emotional about it. So it's sad to see, but it was a very revealing interview. If you guys haven't seen it already, go and check that out on The Fight Is Right. Mohammed Zishan says this weekend is mad. I can't wait. I can't wait for that either. Big up to my man Dan in the building. He says, when that Dr. Usman deleted his socials, that was the nail on the coffin for me. Why run if you have nothing to hide? Absolutely. Unless he's being advised to. But I mean, that's not really particularly good advice, is it? Surely you got to address this. Like, not a good look at all, man. Not a good look at all. But let's look ahead to this weekend anyway, man. Thank you, of course, to everyone that's joined the stream. Hit the like button, share the video. This weekend, we'll start off with the show between Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall. The rescheduled show. It was due to happen a few weeks ago, as we know, but of course the Queen passed away. Unprecedented events that happened really forced the cancellation of that show. Very unfortunate, man. We were literally a couple of days away from that, and yeah, that show got postponed. I was really looking forward to that. I'm still really looking forward to it now, but I don't know. It just feels like to me that with this whole situation that's been going on with Conor Benn and Eubank, it's really just cast a dark cloud over boxing at the moment, man, and it's overshadowed this event for me. I mean, a few weeks ago, it would have been perfect because it was on its own. It was a standalone event. There were no other big fights that night. That was the card that everybody had their eyes on. But now we've got our eyes on this one. We've got our eyes on Wilder's return. We've got our eyes on, what else? Haney and Kambosos, even though that's not the priority for me. Yeah, it's a shame because we've got an undisputed women's title fight here, a long-running grudge match between the two, a fight that I'm actually really looking forward to. I really am expecting this to be really good between these two. And it's a shame. It's kind of, maybe in the next couple of days, it will build up a little bit. I'm sure it will. I'm sure Sky will go into overdrive in terms of the whole hype machines and everything else. But it really did take a hit with the whole, Queen passing away and everything else on that show. But onto the fight itself. Now, looking forward to this fight. Savannah Marshall, of course, the only person to hold a win over Claressa Shields in her career. That was back in the amateurs, however many years ago it was. It was about 10 years ago. Can Savannah Marshall do it? I mean, there's extra pressure on her now because I saw the WBC come out and say that they're going to be presenting a new belt, the Queen Elizabeth belt, for Savannah Marshall or Claressa Shields, whoever wins that fight. I mean, no pressure, Savannah Marshall, right? You've got an American coming over here fighting you. You're going to want to win that belt, of course. But yeah, for me, my stance has not changed on this fight. I've still got Claressa Shields as the favorite. I can still see her win a points victory in this. Savannah Marshall is her most dangerous opponent, and she does carry the legit knockout power threat. I mean, we've seen it. I mean, Savannah Marshall has got incredible power in both hands. I don't even want to say for a female. She's just got great power. Like, she spars men in the gym. She's knocking these people out. And she's a severe threat to Claressa Shields. But I've always felt that Claressa Shields will get this because I just feel like her skill set is better than Savannah Marshall's. She's got more to her game. She's got more tools. And I just think that she ain't got a lot of knockout power. I think she's only got like 2 knockouts, even though she's promising a knockout this weekend. I've got Claressa Shields winning this on points. I feel like at times, and guys, hold me to this if I'm wrong, but she might make Savannah Marshall look a bit clumsy in there at times. I'm not discrediting or having any sort of disrespect to Savannah Marshall, but I just feel like Claressa Shields, man, she's going to be ultimately switched on for this. She's made for this occasion. I feel like she will prosper under the lights a bit more than Savannah Marshall would. A lot of pressure on her shoulders as well, like I said, with the fight being over here. I just don't see that sort of pressure showing on Claressa Shields' face. I mean, Savannah Marshall is not that outspoken type of person, so maybe I might have misread that, but I just feel like Claressa Shields in this situation will be a bit more comfortable, and I just feel like I've got her winning this. I've got her winning on points. Let me see what you guys think. Big Lou has said here, I've got Shields, unanimous decision, comfortably. Marshall will be stuck. Harvey saying here, I was originally edging Marshall to win by KO. Now I'm edging a Shields decision. Let me know why you changed your mind, bro. Let me know why you changed your mind, because I'm seeing a lot more people now come out saying Clarissa Shields will win. Unbelievably for me, when this fight was first announced over here, maybe I shouldn't be too surprised, but I was surprised at the time that Savannah Marshall was a favorite because I just always thought that Clarissa Shields, she's done more as a pro. She's even done more as an amateur. I know that we are fighting over here, but I just felt that she's just got more tools, more variety. And I just felt like that she would be the favorite, but she wasn't. However, the closer we're getting to the fight now, I ain't checked the odds. I just feel like Clarissa Shields is the favorite in this fight. I could be wrong. Savannah Marshall is going to land on Clarissa Shields, right? She is obviously going to land on her. So what is going to happen when she does land? Because she has tremendous power. Clarissa Shields says she's going to eat it up. She has been down before, Clarissa Shields, but it was a very flash knockdown. She wasn't hurt, but she has been down. What about the judging? Do you know what I mean? There's only 2-minute rounds here. Clarissa Shields is going to have to be dominant, in my opinion. Have we thought about that? Do you know what I mean? That the rounds go very quick in women's boxing. There might not be a lot in it. And when that's the case, you know, like, who are the judges going to favor in that situation? Let's think about that. Big up my man Comrade in the building. He said, yeah, he forgot Haney was back in action. And of course, Plant and Darrell. Looking forward to that as well. Great boxing on this weekend, man. But a lot of you guys, man, are all saying it. Like, you're saying Shields is level above Marshall. Harvey saying here that Shields deserves to be the favorite. Yeah, she does deserve to be the favorite in my opinion, but Savannah Marshall has got a real chance. I'm not just saying it like she's got a puncher's chance. She does have a chance. She's not straight up and down. I mean, Peter Fury has done well with her. He's helped her confidence. He's helped her, the technique, and she looks very good inside that ring. She's going to be bigger than Clarissa Shields on the night as well in terms of height, stature, and everything. So I'm sure she'll learn how to use her reach and that. But I just feel that Clarissa Shields just has a bit more in the arsenal for me. Daniel White is saying here Shields on points as well. But like I said, it's not cut and dry. Upsets do happen. And I feel that Savannah Marshall definitely does have a chance here. Really looking forward to that. Look out for myself and Laurie. We will be going live after the fight to give our feedback and, our thoughts on it. Of course, the card is looking very good as well. We've also got Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgardner. Really looking forward to that fight as well. That is also a grudge match. We previewed it a couple of weeks ago, but, just to give my thoughts on this again, I've got Michaela Mayer as the favorite here. I just feel like there's just a bit more to her arsenal. I was very impressed with Alicia Baumgardner against Terry Harper, of course. But Michaela Mayer, she just got a bit more pedigree, a bit more grounded for me. But she can get drawn into a slugfest. As I said a couple of weeks ago, she can get drawn into it. And, we have seen the beef between these two simmering up quite nicely. Do you know what I mean? So Michaela Mayer, if she gets drawn into it with Alicia Baumgardner and she gets caught, you never know. Baumgardner can fight as well. I mean, I was very impressed with how it wasn't just a knockout over Terry Harper. Do you know what I mean? It was literally the skills, the counter-punching ability. She's more than just a puncher. Same with Savannah Marshall. But I just feel like Michaela Mayer has done it a lot more on the amateur stage and as a pro. So we'll see how this pans out. But I've got Michaela Mayer winning that on points as well. That'll be a very competitive battle between them two. And it could be swings and roundabouts in that fight. So my overall predictions for those two fights are Michaela Mayer on points and Clarissa Shields on points. Let me see what you guys think. Big Lou says here, women's boxing needs to be 3-minute rounds. The shorter rounds might be an advantage to Marshall. I did say that. Yeah, we'll see. It could be because, like I said, those rounds go really quick. Them 2-minute rounds, man, like I'll literally be sitting in my chair getting ready to watch it, and then the round's finished. I'm like, Ross, that went quick. So whatever happens, it's going to have to be conclusive. Remember, Savannah Marshall is the home fighter. Clarissa Shields has really built herself up to be the villain over here. There's a lot of people that can't wait to see her lose. So, it will be interesting. It will be interesting. Harvey says here, I really hope Pam Gardner pulls it off, but I think Mayer will just do the job. My man, Jeff TV is in the house all the way from Philadelphia. He says here, my guy, Boxing Lowdown, salute. Conor Benn should be embarrassed. That's the only way to punish the PED users. He's saying he should be embarrassed in public. I agree, but like you've seen, Jeff, Conor Benn seems to be doubling down on this, man. He's not really showing that much sympathy, man. I mean, he's doubling down. He's going for it. So we're gonna have to see how this develops, man. But yeah, right now he's really pleading his innocence as a clean athlete, and I just want to see how this develops, man. But like I said, it's a shame that this has overshadowed this weekend's boxing. But yeah, looking forward to the show this weekend with Boxer on Sky Sports. We'll be tuning into that. Of course, we've got Haney and Cambosos as well that same evening. I think that starts at 1 a.m. over here in the UK. So that'll be a Sunday in Australia, right? The times are going to be mixed up for sure. But Haney and Cambosos, yeah, I think it's on Saturday at 1 a.m. So probably won't be long after the whole Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall fight when that show finishes. I'm not sure what time the ring walks are or anything like that, but I'm sure I saw it say Saturday at 1 a.m. I have to double check that and let you guys know. But yeah, Haney and Cambosos for me, there's no point in me touching on this for too long. This rematch we already know was scheduled to happen. There was a rematch clause in the contract. Haney decisively defeated George Cambosos over there in Australia. But we all know, it wasn't a secret. There was a rematch clause in that contract. Haney had to literally give up everything to get that fight on. So now he's kind of paying the price for it. Despite winning a dominant points decision over George Cambosos, he does have to fight him again. George Cambosos did activate that rematch clause. So now, obviously, they'll be having the second fight this weekend. Not been that much buzz for it at all. I have to be honest. I almost forgot that this fight was even taking place. But it is happening. Expect more of the same. I don't see it being any different to what happened the first time. I just can't see how Cambosos does it. I mean, sometimes with rematches and you think that there's a puncher's chance. I just don't really see Cambosos really getting to Haney like that. We'll see. You never know. But I just see it being another points win for Devin Haney. I think he'll establish that jab. He'll be even more confident this time, knowing that he's been in there with Cambosos for 12 rounds, won that first fight pretty easily. I see it happening again. As the champion, fighting in Australia, it didn't seem to faze him the first time. I think that this stadium, where they're fighting at the second time, is going to be a lot smaller in capacity compared to the first time. I think there were 50,000 people in that first one. I think now it's cut down to at least half of that. So, yeah, I don't see this being any different. The build-up has been a bit low-key. I ain't really seen Cambosos come out and really saying too much. Maybe I'm missing it, but compared to the last time, but maybe that's a good thing, really. Maybe he's just really locked in and, knows what he has to do this time round. But for me, I see Devin Haney retaining his titles. Another wide points decision. I'm going for a 118, 110 type of points win for Devin Haney. I don't see either guy getting knocked out. Cambosos is a warrior. He will bring it. But can you see anything different happening this time round? I can't. My man Daniel White says here, I really thought that Cambosos was going to win the first fight. I was so wrong. Harvey says here, I've never been less interested in an undisputed fight. Yeah, I think this is, out of all the undisputed fights I can remember, I've got no interest in this one, man. It's unfortunate, but this is what rematch clauses can do. As Big Lou says here, he thinks they need to be banned, but this was a real, you want to talk about protecting your fighter. I mean, Cambosos had this rematch clause in, and then obviously Haney had to move over to Top Rank. There's a clause in there to fight Lomachenko, I believe. So, big up to Devin Haney for giving up everything to make it happen. The rewards are now, becoming apparent for him. And, it proved to be the right decision to do. Moving over to Top Rank, fighting Cambosos in his backyard, agreeing to everything. It seems to be working out for him right now. He is the undisputed champ in a very marketable, a very lucrative division. So big up to Devin Haney, man. But again, I don't see this being anything other than a points win for Devin Haney. Could he get the stoppage? I don't think so. Unless it's they throw the towel in, Cambosos is taking too much punishment. I don't see Haney getting that sort of one-punch knockout win over Cambosos, man. Let's put some respect on Cambosos' name. He's been in there with some severe punchers like Teofimo Lopez for one. Do you know what I mean? And he got through that. So, yeah, he is a warrior. and he will bring it. But I just feel that Devin Haney's just a bad stylistic matchup for him, and I just see him winning on points. My man Francisco says here, the challenge for Haney is to stay focused because he's on a higher level. I totally agree. My man Punch Smollett has said here, Marshall and Shields will be more exciting. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, man. Like, it'll be much more exciting than Haney and Kambosos for me, that fight. I'm really looking forward to Savannah Marshall and Claressa Shields, man. I've been looking forward to that for a long time. So, yeah, that whole card. Out of all the cards this weekend, Haney and Kambosos for me is the one that, you know, I'm least looking forward to. Of course, I'll still watch it, but like the rest of you guys, but it's just not really doing it for me, man, because we all saw the first fight, and I don't think many of us can see anything different in the second fight. I mean, anyone out there that feels that it will be different, let me know in the comments. I mean, let me know if you think I'm wrong, but I just can't see it being any different than the first fight, man. But saying that, we'll move on to the Wilder and Helenius fight. Shout out to everybody in the chat, first of all, man. Don't forget to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We got Wilder and Helenius this weekend as well. And we've also got Caleb Plant and Darrell on that fight as well on the undercard. Looking forward to both fights, man. With the Wilder fight and Helenius, obviously we know that these two were sparring partners back in the day. They are very familiar with each other. You know, it's a good comeback fight for Deontay Wilder. The last time he was out was against Tyson Fury. We saw what happened there. You know, a fantastic fight. Wilder showing tremendous heart, but ultimately fall into a one-punch knockout from Fury. How much has that taken out of Deontay Wilder, man? We're going to find out a little bit this weekend. Helenius is not a top 10, really a top 15 heavyweight. Maybe he's on the fringes. No, I wouldn't even. Yeah, maybe he's on the fringes of top 15. Would you say 15 to 20? So listen, it's a good comeback fight for Wilder. Helenius can bang as well. Do you know what I mean? It's a very interesting fight, and he's on good form right now. Defeating Kalnaki, he was an underdog in that. He defeated him. So listen, he's going to be going into this with his tail up. But I have to say this, man. Will he have the sparring partner mentality going in there against Wilder, or will he really go for it? Will he look at this and say to himself, look, I've been in the ring with this guy, even though it's been sparring. I fancy my chances here. Or will he go in there with that sparring partner mentality, which we've seen in the past with fighters? You know, those that have been a sparring partner for those fighters, they tend to have that mentality going into the ring. And then, you know, the fight between them doesn't really end up being anything, really. I think Helenius has got to go for it here. We know what Wilder can do. We know what sort of right hand he's got. It's going to be very tricky in those first couple of rounds, man, when Wilder is fresh, when he's got, you know, he's got his legs behind him, and, you know, the crowd, you know, they're all going to be there for Wilder, I'm sure. So, you know, Helenius is going to have to ride out that storm earlier on. But if he can get to rounds 3 and 4, 5, will Wilder still have the legs beneath him? We saw he was very drained in that Fury fight. Maybe it was just a lot of emotional baggage going into that fight. It was a heavy build-up on Wilder emotionally, we all know. Maybe that kind of caused the sap in his energy. But after 3 or 4 rounds, he was literally spent, Deontay Wilder. But we still saw the power that he had and the threat that he carried, even up until he got knocked out in the 11th round. We still saw the threat that he carried, Deontay Wilder. Can Helenius get to Deontay Wilder? What is his motivation like right now? He is 36 years old, Deontay Wilder, 36, 37. You know, made a lot of money. He's got a statue of himself over there in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You know, a former world champion. How much more can he do? What's the motivation like for him? Remember, he was going to walk away from the sport. So against Robert Helenius, man, we need to see what sort of hunger he's got left before we start, you know, putting Wilder back in there with some of the other names. It's a very intriguing fight. Like I said, Helenius is on good form right now. He hasn't been that active himself, but he is on good form. So it will be a very interesting fight, man. I'm always really intrigued with the Deontay Wilder when he's fighting, man, because I just love watching him getting into the ring. I'm on the edge of my seat every time, literally, because you never know what might happen. Literally, it could be one shot that will end it. And that is why I like watching him. And I feel like with this, he could get chinned as well. Let's not get it twisted. Wilder could himself could get chinned. And I think that is where the excitement lies for me in this particular fight. Helenius could chin Wilder, man. But I am going to go for a Wilder win. I am going to expect him to do it in dramatic fashion in terms of the knockout. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying, man. Daniel White is saying here, I expect a Wilder KO. Harvey says here, let's not forget, we seem to be getting Fury and Chisora free. Yeah, we'll touch on that a bit later on, bro. But I'm going for Wilder knockout here. Probably round 5-6, I'm going to say. I reckon it might be up and down before that. Do you know what I mean? But I could see Wilder getting a knockout win over Robert Helenius by the mid-rounds. Let me know your predictions on that fight and whether you guys will be watching. It will be on Fight TV. So you will have to pay for it. I'm sure some of you guys are going to say you're going to be streaming it now. But if you do want to watch it on Fight, it is on Fight TV. I think it's like $12.99 or something like that. So yeah, that is for you guys over here in the UK. If you want to tune in, that is a way to do it. But I'm sure I know what a lot of you guys are going to be doing, man. The undercard is looking good too. Do you know what I mean? You've got Plant and Durrell. There's been a lot of beef in this build-up. I'm looking forward to this, man. Good to see Plant back in the ring. He'll be the favorite, but Durrell, as we know, man, he's got bags of talent. What has he got left at this stage against Plant? We'll find out. But, you know, he's got a lot of dog in him. We do know that, Durrell. And we've seen it in the past. So this could get gritty. This could get rough. Caleb Plant likes to box on the outside. And, you know, he's a very, very good boxer, man, on the back foot. Tremendous ability he's got, Caleb Plant. Love watching him fight. I'm expecting this to be a good showdown, man. And will he get dragged into, you know, the trenches? They've spoken about it before, that they could be drawn into that. I think that suits Durrell, obviously. But Caleb Plant, for me, if he sticks to his game on the back foot, boxes and moves, he's got tremendous style there, Caleb Plant. Uses his feet. I see him winning this. I see him winning this on points. But I do think it'll be a very good showdown, man. I do think that, you know, there has been a lot of grudge in this build-up. And it's good to see them settle it in the ring. And I think it's a good chief support to Wilder and Helenius. So my predictions for this show, I'm going for Caleb Plant to win on points. And I'm going for Deontay Wilder to win by knockout against Robert Helenius, man, in the 5th or 6th rounds. Like I said, that can be on Fight TV for you guys to tune in. So make sure you guys tune into that. A lot of action to look forward to this weekend, man. Like I said, 3 separate shows, a lot of big fights going on. The undercard's looking good too. We're going to be jumping on, myself and Laurie, on Sunday to give a review of all of those fights for sure, man. So he's not joining the stream today, but you guys have got me to cover for you. Laurie will be back on Sunday where we'll give our review of the fights over the weekend, man, for sure. So make sure you guys tune into that live stream. And yeah, we'll get your thoughts and, you know, your opinions on that. Harvey says here, the whole Fury and Chisora thing, it is looking like now we will be seeing Fury Chisora free. Your thoughts on this, guys, man, just as I type this in here. Your thoughts on Fury Chisora free. I don't know anyone that is going to be looking forward to this, that expects Chisora to do anything in this fight. These two guys fought twice before. What was it? 2012, 2014. The fight that they did have in 2014 wasn't even competitive. Frank Warren was getting in the corner there to pull Chisora out. It was a one-sided beatdown from Fury. Since then, has Chisora really got better? He's got more popular. He has, you know, given us great nights. What has he got left in the tank at this stage? For me, I mean, where do I even start, man? Like, for Tyson Fury, like the whole AJ situation, we've touched on that loads of times. With Derek Chisora now, he is coming off a disputed win, shall I say, over Kubrat Pulev. He's right at the end of his career. He's literally at the end of his career, Derek Chisora. I thought he should have retired after the Parker fight. He's decided to carry on. He's going to make a lot of money in this fight against Tyson Fury. But, you know, there are so many other fights that we could have seen in the heavyweight division other than Derek Chisora. I saw Frank Warren's interview on IFL the other day, and he was trying to sell it. And I'm just like, this is a hard sell, Frank. Don't even attempt to sell this. He said that Chisora would be a better fight for Fury than AJ. And does anyone really believe that? But that is what Frank Warren said on the IFL interview. He also said that, you know, they were going through the rankings and Chisora was the highest ranked opponent available. Really? Yeah. There are many other fights that Tyson Fury could have taken instead of Derek Chisora. I think the only way how I'm giving him a pass for this, and it's not really a pass, it's just a little pass. The only way how I'll kind of just let this slide is if we know that the Usyk fight is happening in spring next year. Like, that's signed, that's delivered. That's the only way how I'll be like, okay, whatever. I'll brush this one off with Fury and Chisora. I might tune into it if I'm not doing anything. But the big fight is really between Fury and Usyk, and this is just a warm-up. If that is the case, then I'll just be like, you know what, cool. Fury's just staying busy. It is what it is. And that seemed to be the intention. That's what Frank Warren was saying on that IFL interview. He was saying that, you know, the big showdown, without overlooking and being disrespectful to Derek Chisora, is the undisputed fight with Usyk. They were looking for that to be in February, March. I don't see it happening that early, but if it does, great. Unless that happens, then to me, this is just a waste of time. And there are plenty of other guys that Fury could have gone in there with, particularly his stablemate, his Queensberry stablemate, Joe Joyce. However, apparently those dates didn't align. There are other guys out there. You know, who's Michael Hunter got right now? He was supposed to fight Tyson Fury's cousin. Of course, Hughie Fury, he pulled out. Maybe they could have got that on. Do you know what I mean? There are plenty of other guys in the heavyweight division that Tyson Fury could have fought, but he's going to fight Derek Chisora. It looks like, anyway. It's not totally confirmed yet, but it's looking like that those two will get it on. And if it does happen, like I said, the only way how I'm giving this a pass is if Usyk and Fury is signed and sealed for spring next year. Like I said, Frank Warren was talking about it. He was saying that, you know, it looks like that's going to be the case. So if that is the case, then I'll just turn a blind eye to this, because we all know what's going to happen in the fight, right? I mean, does there anyone out there that think that Chisora even remotely has a chance against Tyson Fury? Is it even going to be competitive between the two? The second fight between them wasn't. Fury is just going to keep Chisora on the outside, and I don't really see it being anything at all, man. I expect Fury to knock him out in that fight with Derek Chisora. Daniel White has said here, if Fury and Chisora happens and AJ Areola, we have basically gone back in time for 5 years. I did see those AJ and Areola rumors, but then I did see Eddie Hearn come out today, apparently saying that there's been no discussions with Chris Areola. Again, another poor fight. Poor fight, man. I mean, the heavyweight division, I mean, look at what the situation with Daniel Dubois. They tried to fight Lucas Brown, man. Lucas Brown. They tried to put him in there with Daniel Dubois. Thankfully, the British Border Control stepped in and said, nah, we're not having any of this. And I'd like to see more of that for some of these mismatches, because that was a dangerous mismatch, Lucas Brown and Daniel Dubois. Thankfully, that's not happening now. Dubois seems to be fighting somebody else. I've forgotten the name. But yeah, these sort of fights here, I mean, where is the sell? How are you going to sell to us, Fury and Chisora free? Like, Big Lou is saying here, I'm praying that Chisora owns him and chins him. Can you see it though, bro? I mean, I just don't see that at all, man. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I mean, is there anyone out there that can see Chisora even being competitive with Fury? I don't see it. I don't see it. He'll give it a go. He'll try and bull rush him. But Fury, man, yeah, it's not going to be that's going to be a hard sell if that does come off. They're going to have to stack that undercard. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, Chisora is a big name over here as well. Maybe, you know, the casuals might tune into it. But yeah, as a hardcore, I mean, I guess we'll tune in, right? But how will that fight do commercially, man? I don't know. But like I said, nothing is signed and sealed yet. It's not confirmed as of right now. But yeah, Chisora and Fury 3 is looking like that it will happen next. We'll see what happens, guys. Harvey says here, I doubt it will be Areola for AJ. I reckon it will be Zhang or Hrgovic. The Zhang fight makes sense, of course, with the two obviously fighting in the amateurs already. AJ holding a win over Zhang. Actually, was that in the Olympics? I think it was in the Olympics where AJ beat Zhang. So yeah, they do have a bit of history between the two. So yeah, that does make sense. Hrgovic, he did look a bit vulnerable in his last fight. So, you know, maybe they might get that on. We'll see, man. I don't know. The Zhang fight makes sense to me. Will they throw AJ in him with him straight away? I saw Eddie Hearn talking about Wilder. That's not going to happen. Dillian White is being mentioned as a possibility. Could that happen? A lot of options out there for AJ. But what Eddie Hearn did say is that it will be somebody in the top 15. Does he mean top 15 of the Ring Magazine rankings, or does he mean top 15 in the sanctioning body rankings? I'm presuming it's the latter. So we'll see. Big Lou says here, I can't see it, but I hope he does, just because Fury should have fought someone else. Punch Mullet says here, I hope Chisora low blows and headbutts Tyson Fury, man. Not one for us to look forward to, but again, nothing confirmed or official as of right now. But listen, guys, I'm going to wrap it up early today. Like I said, it's just me, so I don't want to drag this on for too long. However, we are doing another live stream on Sunday after the fights. So there's a lot to look forward to in terms of, Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, Devin Haney, and George Kambosos. And of course, Wilder's return against Hellenius, Plant, and Durrell. So there is a lot to look forward to with regards to all the fights. We're going to cover those. Laurie will be back on, of course. So yeah, look out for that over the on Sunday, maybe Sunday evening, I'd say. Keep your eyes out for that. I'll let you guys know more details as and when it comes. But yeah, we will be doing a live show to give our thoughts on this weekend's action. But until then, man, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll catch you guys on the next video, man. Don't forget, on the way out, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys very soon, man. Peace out.